Welcome. You are almost at the end of your, not actually end, still you have 2 more weeks to go, but you are at the end of a crucial phase of your action learning phase journey. So today we are going to have the feedback session on innovative teaching practices for the school collaboration on holistic learning environment for innovative teaching and learning. So let me quickly introduce you to the agenda very quickly. So, okay, first of all, we will give a quick overview of each of your ITP because all of you have been doing such amazing work. I think all the other participants, they need to know that as well. So we kind of want to do it because we want each of you to get an idea of what the others are doing and then what are the interesting innovative elements. So we will start with relationship building, then we'll move on to resilience and grit, and then we will go for the teams on teaching social and emotional skills and inclusion and active learning and engagement. We will present it in no particular order. So it's literally, we just put together teams. So there is no first or second or last. So don't think about it that way. And then we will actually, we have some general feedback for all the teams because now all of you are here from different teams, so we don't want to go into too detailed into individual feedback. We will have just the general feedback that applies to all of you, and then we'll watch a video. It's actually one of my favorite video, and then we will have a group discussion depending on the video, and then we will actually talk a little bit about the templates that we are currently finalizing and working on. And then we'll have some last minute question and answers. Actually, we will watch the video first, then we will give the feedback. So before I begin to introduce ITP for teams, congratulations to all of you. You all have worked really hard despite your school's busy schedule, and we really admire that, and a lot of respect for you from us. So great job, very well done, and thank you. So with that, let's start with the builders. Okay, so who is from team builders is here? Anyone from this team here? Diostedet, Mariolina, Valentina, who is here? You need to help me. You need to speak up because I'm sharing the screen. I don't see anyone actually. So no one from the team here? Do you see anyone, Angie?
Nope.
Okay, we move on to the next team then. However, I will give a quick overview. Actually, this team did a lovely innovative teaching practice summary. They had a lot of innovative ideas that they want to integrate that helps building a relationship in a school environment. So some of the elements that they have, I wish they were here. They could have told you more. The wheel of card, beat my feelings, the best part of, I'm not gonna give it away, maybe later you can read the detail ITP. And so these are actually some of the steps and activities that they are doing. So that we found really innovative. So great job for this team. And then let's move on to Carpe Diem. So anyone from this team here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Could you give us a quick update?
Okay, from Carpe Diem, so we already have the WhatsApp group. They consists only me, Shana, and also as Alma, and also Miss Rashmi. And then we have actually discussed before about what kind of innovative teaching practice that we want to propose in our proposal. But then because of the time difference and also our busyness, somehow the discussion stopped. So that's why we missed the deadline. I'm so sorry about that, Jyoti. Yeah, so Basically, our relationship building will be divided into 4 stages. The first stage will be shaping, and then the second stage is controlled chaos, and then the third one is scope and sovereignty, and then the fourth one group actualization. So this based on the theory from the AFIT, like they said that the shaping we introduce about the contract, about the social contract, and then we kind of like introduce each other one to another, and then after they know each other, somehow we cannot avoid like the conflict. So that's why we move to the second stage, the control chaos. And then we also introduced over there like some games like for them to be able like to um, manage the conflict better, so they can move forward to the third stage. And then the third stage is scope and sovereignty. We will have a game called React and Act. And in this game, the group will be introduced on how to like react properly, and then so they can make sure that their goals is achieved for the third scope, so they can move to the fourth scope, fourth stage will be the group actualization. Okay, I haven't finished like the ITP yet, like for the fourth stage actually. So it's yeah, I really need your input for that one. Thank you.
No worries. Actually, although you did it in a last minute, and when we looked into it, it was really clearly organized, and we thought it was really very well put together. So thank you for the quick update. Can I quickly check? Because earlier I haven't heard from Akala. I saw Akala is here and Benson. So did you get a chance to collaborate with them?
Not yet. They haven't replied to my
Okay.
email yet.
Okay, so I haven't. So who is currently actively collaborating with you?
Alma and Rashmi.
Okay, so
Yes.
Akala, you are here. Can I please kindly ask you to reach out to them? They have been already working hard to put things together. So please collaborate with them. Then we will consider you as active member for this phase as well.
Okay.
So, okay, yeah. Okay, then let's move on to the next one. So we have the divergent thinkers. I actually saw just now Nita entered the room. So maybe who else from the team is here? Maybe you can give us a very quick update on your ITP. Hi, Nita, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll join from my device. Actually, I tried with phone because there's charging issue with the my laptop. So I just switched to turn it off. Maybe I have to switch. I think actually, Jyoti, the whole idea was presented by Patrick, and we were sharing all the ideas through our Google Docs. Now Mandy also, added a lot to it, and Isabel and Adrian. But I've added two, but the central idea was presented by Patrick. I don't see him here, but our activity is, our project is about, activities where we can connect with students, and basically the cornerstone of all the relationship building is, the respect is mutual. So how do you demonstrate that respect to your student? You model that, respectful behavior in the classroom. You allow your classroom to be very democratic and connect to students within the class, outside the class, and join them, attend few of their events, bring in parents also, in this relationship building. So basically activities involving student, giving them freedom, giving them opportunity to go wrong or make any error, and that gives them a chance to experiment. Always, if you're skeptical about going wrong, you may not try or may not experiment, and then you stop learning. So giving them chance to fail, making them understand that it's important that you have to try. So activities per se, we haven't thought about what are the activities we are going to include, but activity basis on the philosophy of activity is to give a student a due respect and freedom to express themselves.
Thank you. Actually, yeah, there were a lot of interesting elements in your ITP. But, however, the only quick feedback we have is it's very interesting, but the the scope might be a bit broader. So maybe focusing on narrowing it down and focusing on a few elements and then really working intensely on those might make it really strong. So we are gonna give the individual feedback through emails as well, written feedback, both from your facilitators, Chorpang and Adam. So please look out for those. But all in all, great job. Just for everyone's reference, the words that you see in third bracket next to the ITP theme, these are some of the core elements that emerged from your ITP. So we kind of put it together so that everyone has a quick overview of what kind of topics are addressed. So thank you, Nita. Let's move on to the next topic, resilience and grit. And for that, we have the greeters. So who is here from the greeters? Can you give us a quick update?
Good morning. How are you?
Hi, good morning. We are doing very well, actually, now that we are with here with all of you. So please, Claire, go ahead and give us a quick update.
We were looking at trying to research from... Oh, sorry, there's feedback there.
No worries.
Okay, sorry. We were looking at trying to prolong research and overcome challenges over a longer period of time, starting with one stimulus. So we're going to start with a cup, an object, and we're going to go through a unit of learning and end up, we were still sort of discussing what the end result would be, but because our subjects are English, history and art, we were thinking of illustrating a poem that the students write themselves, and then at the end maybe we'd like to maybe do it like a touring exhibition of the work, so we might swap it with the classes. And we were trying to connect maybe through e-twinning, where the classes would work and engage together in different countries, so we might do it at the same time, you know, so that the students really engage and try to overcome challenges together, and make them more interested in keeping going from that one starting point.
Amazing. Actually, I think if you really execute successfully, the insights can be really helpful for a lot of teachers. So we are really counting on you to do it well, so that I think this can be a very good insight in terms of if other schools and teachers want to implement. And I really love that you mentioned Project Zero. It's a fantastic project. Is it from David Perkins' Project Zero, right? From the Harvard Graduate School of Education. So yeah, it's actually... Yeah. If you have any resources, I know that they don't share a lot of things openly. You need certain access, but if you have any resources, please do send us. We can share it with the participants because it's a fantastic project. So thank you so much. Let's move on to the next team. We have All for Resilience. So who is here from the team?
I'm here, Lucia. Here.
Hi. Hi.
So we have been thinking about a game called a kind of live game. Everything, all the levels will be sections of the questions of the various situations, what might happen. And if the students choose the answer which cheer him up, he goes to next level. There will be lots of motivational songs, lots of a bit of funny pictures, just everything to cheer him up when he goes through the difficult situations in his life.
Thank you, Lucia. So actually, when we were reading it, we found it really interesting because students kind of have to reflect and get it right to go to the next level, right? And also you mentioned about diverse scenarios. Could you give us an example of those scenarios so that everyone can have a quick overview?
So first, for example, there was a pandemic situation we all have experience of, and you were stuck at home. So, and you couldn't go out with your friends. So what do you do? First, you will be angry and just call everybody names because of the situation. Second option was stay sad and just stay at home and do nothing. And third situation, call your friends and have an online meeting. So if you choose the third answer, you will go up to the next level.
Thank you.
Another situation, if you have lots of problems at home, problems with your grades at school, that just suddenly because of some situation at home, your grades falls down, the same. Everything we try to give different scenarios to cheer you up.
Thank you, Lucia. I think your ITP can really be a practical examples of supporting students as well as teachers. So I think you might, as you were working on the right scenario, I think none of the team members in your group are either psychologists or have psychology background. Do you? Does any of you have that background?
No, I
Okay.
don't.
So I would actually, I'm not sure if Natalia from Croatia is here. She's an education counselor. She's working for the other team on teaching social and emotional skills, but maybe a call with her because she has that background. So maybe you guys can collaborate and talk as you are identifying the right answer. So that would be helpful. Maybe we'll send a separate email for that. So thank you so much. Thank you so much and good luck. Okay, let's move on to the next team, passionate teachers. And from this team, who is here? I think I saw Uni earlier.
Hello, it's me.
Hello. Okay, please give us a quick update.
All right, thank you, Jyoti. Actually, the representative of our group is Blair, but I guess he can't come to this meeting today. And this is what comes into our minds, that the activity that actually we haven't come into a conclusion, and we haven't come into a structured ideas and activities in the classroom, but we brainstorm on the Google Docs, and then these are what is coming. It is the game through Minecraft, and journaling, and also the conversation cards. And the last one that Mirabella add is about drawing or painting, and it is focusing on the past students' past difficult moment, and then it's all about the picture that represent when the students face a difficult moment, and then they think about those who helped them, and then what they felt when they were like feeling the victorious moment when overcoming the problem. And the poster or the painting or the drawing might also tell us about how the students help each other through that painting or through that drawing or cartoons or comics or stories. We haven't come into a clear and precise structures or ideas.
That's okay, because that's our feedback for actually most teams. So, but you already have great ideas. So I think you have a great start. So we have no doubt that it's going to be, really practical and a really nice activity for your students. Maybe you can also talk to Lucia's group. Maybe you guys can have some insightful conversation to help each other out if you can manage time. So yeah. Can I quickly check who is active in your team? Because we are doing the last, if we need to support any team members in any way. So, because I think I have heard from Mirabella, Blair, and you, but I haven't really heard from the other team members. So do you have an update?
Only 3 of us.
Okay.
Mirabella and also Blair.
Okay. We will check with the other. Okay, thank you so much, Uni.
Thank you, Jyoti.
Okay, now let's move on to the next topic, teaching social and emotional skills, SAS. And for this, we have creative practitioners. So who is here from the team creative practitioners? And I have to highlight, they were the first team to send us their ITP way ahead of deadline, and it was a very good one. So congratulations for that. So anyone from this team here, Vesna, Shimin, or Alice?
I'm here.
Wow. Most of you are here, I think. Okay, please go ahead, Alice. Give us.
Of us are here.
Perfect.
We're all here. Yeah. Hello.
Okay, go ahead.
So our update is the following. We had a new meeting last Wednesday on Google Meet, and we introduced 2 new digital tools in our lessons. These are a Mentimeter survey and a Kahoot quiz. to test students' knowledge on the topic of the lesson. And we think that this way we will satisfy the students' need for being up to date to the latest technology and experiment with new methods while learning. By this, we mean to highlight the fact that there is a strong relationship between teaching social and emotional skills and technology. And additionally, we decided to divide our lesson plan into 3 so that it matched the time length of the lessons in our school countries. And we will allot 1 hour for project work. We want to enhance the collaborative dimension of STS, and students will have the chance to work on their computers and tablets while they make research.
That's fantastic. Actually, your project, it was really, in terms of the objective, it was really clearly defined, very spot on. We really loved reading it. Could you tell us a little bit about the Wheel of Emotions poster? That was, I think, really interesting. So maybe other team members can have some useful insights, please. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
so this
Yeah.
is, you may speak.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, so Wheel of Emotions is a wheel that help students to explore about their emotions. So it has 3 layers. The innermost layer, we will ask the students to put the emojis, the emoticons in the middle. And then in the second layer, we will ask the students to write down how do they feel throughout the project. And then in the third layer, we will ask them to think of ways to manage those emotions. For example, if they feel like angry in the process, so in the third layer, they should have like thought of like ways to manage the anger. So it's a will to manage the emotions. Yeah, maybe Alice want to add on to that?
Yeah. So this activity will evolve throughout the lesson. We want to receive constructive feedback again with this wheel of emotions. At the end of the lesson, the wheel of emotions will become a poster with pictures of the social realities they have made research on during their projects and the feelings of the people which were involved or which were affected. And then the solutions which governments and organizations have taken to remedy these situations. So it will be a poster with pictures.
Thank you both. I think, Lucia, I think you can also see that there are some similarities, right? So if you also want to collaborate with them in terms of sharing ideas and have a conversation, please drop us an email and we will share all of your contact details with each other. So thank you, really great job. And I think, this, if you actually all of us together with the facilitators, I think if you execute it properly, it can be a tool for teachers across Asia and Europe to kind of implement in their own classroom to build social and emotional skills. So thank you so much for such innovative ITP. Okay, now let's move on to the next team, mindfulness. Okay, who is from mindfulness team here?
Yeah, okay. I'm one of the members of the mindfulness. Okay, so we have Branka, I, and also Roslyn from the Philippines had meeting for for making this kind of draft for the ITP. So actually, since our students are high school, so we are going to try to facilitate students to demonstrate their social and emotional skills in the real context through a virtual interaction room. And also, it is the objective is to respond to students' need to be heard, to be recognized, their unique ways of expressing themselves. So in this case, we are going to have a kind of collaboration. It's kind of classroom, virtual classroom, to teach students. The strategy is to nurture the cultures of kindness. And also, the project will also allow the students for talk time. And then also they will try to build community or in a teams and set up a shout out board. And for this, we are going to have a virtual classroom, and it will have a certain certain topic for this project. So I think Branka or Loslin will continue. Please, Branka, are you here?
Yes, I'm
Or
here.
Loslin?
Hello, everyone.
Okay, please
Thank
continue.
you. Thank you, Rika. In fact, the point of this project is that the students in their own countries find some problem in their community. So they can, in fact, get involved emotional and social. So afterwards, when they know each other through the letters that we'll send to the also virtual platform, to express their social skills, they can connect in smaller groups and investigate problems that which they found in their country. The topics can be environment, education, pandemic issues, generation gaps, or something like that. And afterwards, they can, in fact, try to do the Walt Disney method, where they can step in the other shoes as dreamers, realists, or critics, so they can express more about the problems. And afterwards, they will make a video presentation about the problem, try to find a solution of the problem, and try then express their emotional state also, because as Rika said, the compassion for the problems in their community, we think that it's very, very important. I don't know if Ross has something to say. I don't know if Mark is here, so.
Hi, Branka. You hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
I just want to continue what Branka says and Vika all about our project. So the objective of our project is to facilitate students to demonstrate social and emotional skill in the real context through a virtual interaction like Branka was telling about. So this is to respond to the student needs to be heard and to recognize in the unique ways of expressing themselves. So as Rika's mentioned, we have four ways to teach continuously in our classroom: to nurture a culture of kindness, allow for a talk time, build community with the team, set up a shout-out board, and journalizing. So for this one, we need an interactive in our classroom to develop their participation in the different ways or strategies. So we can alternate the strategies in facilitating this project. So the number of the students involved in this project is 10 from each country, and we facilitate this into ages 15 to 17. So as you can see, we constructed also an action plan for our project, and this will be facilitating December and January. So we also included a timeline for our particular project.
Thank you, Ross. Thank you, Branka. Thank you, Rika. Wow, you have a lot to cover. So if I may give a very quick feedback from Adam, your collaboration, your ITP is actually creative, and it's also have fun elements. Knowing Adam's project, we know that he includes a lot of creative and fun elements. So he really loved that part about your ITP. I think one quick feedback, if we may give now, is I think the feasibility. That's something you need to carefully think, because you have a lot of great ideas and it's coming together really nicely. But if the feasibility in terms of not like all the context is not carefully looked at, then the execution might be a bit challenging. So please do look into that in terms of how many areas also you want to cover. Maybe it's better to start small, focusing on 1 or 2 areas, then you can continue building up. You can continue focusing on next topic, because it gives you more room for concretely and deeply focusing on particular issues. So thank you so much. Everyone from your group is active, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
The three of us are active.
Actually, Mark here.
Yeah,
So-
Mark actually.
Hello.
Oh, hi, here, Mark. You are here. Thank you.
Okay, so maybe you sort it out in your own team. Mark, please reach out to them, and then maybe you can contribute to building the ideas.
He already did. He
Okay.
already did. He's
Okay.
contributed. Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
Don't
perfect,
worry.
perfect.
He's with us.
Okay,
yeah,
thank
yeah,
you.
yeah.
Okay, okay, that's amazing to hear. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thank
let's
you.
move on to the next team. Team Red. Who is from Team? I saw Natalia is here, and I think I saw Martina, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so who would like to give us a quick update?
Okay, well, I was the team, how did you call us? The team facilitator? I'm not sure. The team leader? I don't know. In a sense that I tried to establish a connection with all the different members of the team. And at first, as of course I did write some emails to you, we had trouble getting together. And finally, we agreed on using WhatsApp, and that's how we communicated. And unfortunately, we couldn't really get in touch with Anya at first. I think it was Anya. Sorry, I don't want to get confused. We had problems because she doesn't have WhatsApp in the area where she lives. And it was difficult to communicate using Facebook. So then she got in touch with me, and also she was sick. I think she had some kind of health issues. But now she's back. So in a way, she didn't participate. But if she wants to collaborate with us, she's more than welcome because she got in touch with me afterward. But the work was already finished by then. So the way we proceeded, I think we worked, it was myself, Natalia, and Edith never got in touch from Hungary.
Okay.
So Natalia, myself, Marta, and well, Anya, she got in touch with us afterwards. So if she wants to join us now, she's more than welcome. So she was
Okay.
right.
We will check with you separately through email regarding
Yes,
regarding
sure.
that. Yeah.
So the way we proceeded, we of course we tried to focus on the topic, and so we rewatched the webinar, the recording, trying to focus on key ideas that needed to be developed, and then we came up with the different proposals. The core idea was the one developed by Natalia. But then we just put together ideas, and we all agreed on the importance of empathy, I would say, personal engagement, and also the importance of creativity. So this was an element that appeared in all our works. And also we decided to develop a project that was based on, was actually PBL, what it calls project-based learning, where students were involved in a task. And so in a task, you can develop, critical thinking, cooperative learning. So for us, the idea of group work, of sharing was very important. What I particularly liked about Natalia, and then I will ask Natalia maybe to explain better, was the topic she chose, gratefulness, something that in a way can help students look deeper within themselves. It's something that we never do. And in a way, it's a way of responding to the challenges of the modern world, because we are all concerned about so much, and then we forget what's important. So the idea of focusing on what we should be grateful for, and this idea of gratefulness in relation to your personal life, to what you should be grateful for, was actually in the end connected to an idea of global gratefulness. So we should be grateful because we have a planet where we still have some natural resources. In there, we also found the idea of responsibility that also came up in the webinar. So the importance of acting with some sort of ecological conscience, thinking that we should be grateful about what we have and we shouldn't be destroying the planet as we are doing now. So I don't know if Natalia wants to add something. Natalia did write a message to you. Would you be able, maybe, would you like to add something to my presentation about our work? I don't know if Natalia is here. She was
I think
actually.
she texted that she had some issues with the sound microphone. So maybe Natalia, you can type in the chat box, then later I'll read it out too. Yeah. So if you have anything to add, please type in the chat box and I'll have a look at it later. Okay, thank you so much, Martina. I think you have a lot of interesting ideas and really practical ideas as well. We really like
Sorry, can I add something else? So what we really also wanted to do was to connect this idea of group work. I kind of use a real situation. The International Friendship Week that some schools organize every year. So this is also a moment for collaborating, you know, different countries, different students, different perspectives. So different ways of looking at gratefulness. So this is what I wanted to add. Sorry. Thank you.
Thank you, Martina. That was one of the key points. Yeah. So how gratefulness is viewed across culture, right? I think that would be such an important and interesting element to understand and for other teachers to learn more. So if you execute this well, it will also be an interesting insight that you can share with teachers across Asia and Europe. We really like that you are focusing on the self-gratitude elements. I think that's really important in terms of building social and emotional skills. So one quick feedback that we have, I think your ITP needs a bit more structure. So we wait for the individual detailed written feedback that we are going to send out later today or by tomorrow morning. So hopefully that will help you prepare better for the presentation. So thank you for the quick update, and let's move on to the next team. Cultivating SES. Actually, I don't think we have received. I think Diana is here. Are you here, Diana? I saw you earlier. Okay, I think I haven't seen anyone from the team so far, so maybe I'll check with them later. Okay, let's move on to the next topic, inclusion, and let's invite team Better Together to give us a quick update. So, anyone from the team here? Saloni, Jeffrey, Ivana.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Good day.
Hello, hi Jeffrey. Okay.
Hello. Our team is collaboratively talk about our output, and that we come up our output what we have sent in our topic. In our school we have different learners. No, we have different status of learners. We have the learners with special needs, special disabilities, pregnant, and living with different circumstances. So aside from with our topic, which is inclusion, we have that information campaign, which always we do. Even our learners are still in grade 6. And we also have our home visitation, of course, especially if the learner are absentee. And for us to know their reasons. And so if we have to some sort of to help them, we do. And of course, we have the different diverse content. What is put there is inclusion of diverse content, materials, and ideas, wherein the books or the learnings in the books, we have to contextualize them or indigenize them to make them understandable on the language of each learners. We have different school program also. We have the Project Ease. We have the Adapt a School program, and in the school of Ma'am Saloni and Ma'am, what is that? The other one, Ma'am Ivana. The school is focus on learners with special needs, wherein they're presented that every learners have their time or teachers, and they're included in different school activities. So especially with the in the school of Ma'am Saloni, wherein even the learners is from the low economic status, they're still admitted and included in the regular classes. So that's it for now. Our output. I do
Thank
not
you.
know.
Yeah, thank you, Jeffrey. Actually, yeah, so reading your, I think one thing that we really liked is the information campaign, because I think a lot of people have misconception and they also want to learn more about what it means when we talk about inclusion. I think one quick feedback we have is you are also dealing with a lot of different topics and different areas. So I think the feasibility and practicality needs to be carefully looked at. But apart from that, I think it's one of the, we can see that all of you are really passionate about the topic. So really hats off to you, and wait for our individual detailed feedback. Hopefully that will help you prepare a bit better and make the ITP a bit better as well. So thank you so much for the team update. Let's move on to the next team. And it's on inclusion, and the team name is also inclusion. So who is here from team inclusion?
Two of us are here. I'm
Hi.
Esther. Hi. And I've seen Nelly, sorry. Nelly, shall I, or are you going to?
Please go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. So actually, initially we had some problems reaching to each other, but now we are three. So we are happy that the three is reached. Mrs. Donna and Miss Nelly is with me. So Roger has not connected. So we cannot wait anymore, I think. With these initial problems, we have started only recently working on these ideas, but we saw that we could maybe design a badge system, whether it's a real badge or a digital badge, we haven't decided yet. And we would really appreciate your feedback, whether it's feasible, whether we can manage everything, or we should stop and try for new areas.
Thank you. I think we found it really interesting that you were looking at the badge system, but I think for us to give a bit more feedback, we needed a bit more information. So I'm not sure if you already progressed with some more work. If you have, please do send it to us. But I think you are looking at a really holistic way of looking at assessment through this system. So we found it really innovative. So hopefully we will give some more detailed feedback to help you build the idea. So no worries about that. So thank you for the feedback.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so let's move on to the next topic, active learning and engagement. And for that, we invite holisticians to give us a quick update. So who is from team holistician here?
Hi, Jyoti.
Hello.
Lenny here. Sorry, because I'm still recovering from COVID, so I try my best.
Sorry to hear that. Okay. Yeah. Okay, please go ahead.
So I think I saw Jesusa also. Maybe Jesusa can help me as well later on if I need help.
Good afternoon.
Okay.
I'm here, Lenny and Jyoti.
Oh, hi, Jesusa. Okay, so basically we have forwarded you a lesson plan for a year 12. So it's divided into three areas, starters, main, and plenary. And then for starters, it's the common or the normal ritual that we do in class, sharing expectation, sharing the objectives of the lessons. And then for the main, we included 3 activities, in which 2 are group work, and then another student activity, the third one. The first group work is basically on discussion. discussion. It's more like an ice-breaking activity since we're going to divide the students into groups. So it's just a basic activity in getting the students to talk. And then after that, we're going to do the second activity, another group work activity, where this time the students are given the responsibility to draw a mind map after they discuss with each other on what to put on the mind map itself. It's a collaborative work, and then they have to present their work as well, and they have to assess their peer work as well using a standardized assessment sheet. So it will get them to be more active, and they will have to talk to each other. They will have to deliver their points. They have to share their ideas. And then for the third, we are looking into more differentiated learning activity, where we give them exercise worksheets, and where we identify the students into their groups of high attainers, middle attainers, as well as low attainers. And then at the end of the lesson, we will also issue a self-reflection ticket. This is an online form they have to fill in before they leave the class, so that where they will have to share their evaluation of the lesson. All right, and then the teacher will look into all the evaluation and see what needs to be improved, and so on. Yeah, that's all from us.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the update. And hopefully you get well very soon, Lenny. I think because your topic is active learning and engagement, right? So you mentioned about differentiated instruction. So that was really spot on in terms of engagement, because engagement means engagement of all students, right? So we really like that you were focusing on that. However, it's active learning, right? To motivate students, I think one key element, one of the facilitators gave was, I think it was Adam, was adding a fun and entertaining element, because that's kind of create a more positive environment for the students and also for engagement as well. So maybe some creative activities or some fun activities is something your team can look into, and please wait for our detailed feedback. But all in all, you have a great start, and everything is really concisely presented. So thank you for that. Okay, so with that, let's move on to the next team. Okay, who is from, how do you first of all pronounce your team name? I think it will be a tongue twister for all of us. Okay, who is here? I saw someone is trying to speak.
Hi, I tried to speak.
You were on mute. You were on mute. Sorry, Susanna. Okay, perfect.
Sorry?
Yes, can hear you now.
Okay. Yeah. So I start now my lesson, and I try to write in the chat what we do. Okay, so I can't speak more, and I hope we can finish our project. My students are active, definitely, in this work. So please read that, and if you have questions, I try to write it later. So
okay, thank you, Susanna.
My students.
Okay,
maybe I can show my students here.
Yes, let's say hello to your students. Hi, hello, hi everyone.
Sorry, I have to go.
Okay, no worries. Thank you for Susanna for the update. We will get back to you with written feedback.
No.
Okay, so let's move on to the next team. We actually don't have, I think Hyekyong is here. I know that you face some challenges in your team, so we are going to write to you separately on that. And same for the next team as well. So with this, I think
Hyekyong is actually here.
Who is here?
Hyekyong.
Yeah, but they face some challenges in the team. Yeah. So I think we are going to write to them separately. So maybe Hyekyong, we send you an email. Maybe if you could reply to us, that would be great. It was 1 or 2 days ago. Then we will take the communication from that. But if I may ask quickly, did you get a chance to collaborate with Anna and Truong? Because I know that they were looking for you. Can you hear us? Okay, so I think with this, Haekyung, you can also type in the chat box. I think all of you are, having a great start, and we are really hopeful that with the insightful ITPs you are going to build, we can also support other teachers in Asian Europe and teachers from the in the ClassNet community. So thank you for all the hard work, and we really, really appreciate it. So let's watch this video. It's actually one of my favorite video, and we are going to have a quick group discussion, and then we are going to give you some generic feedback. And surprisingly, some of the feedback actually were similar for the other school collaboration on STEM and climate change as well. So maybe some of you who were there, you will find it, some of it's a bit similar. So let me know if you can hear the sound. Hopefully everyone can hear it. So let's watch this short talk by an educator called Rita Pearson, and it's called "Every Kid Needs a Champion."
I have spent my entire life either at the schoolhouse, on the way to the schoolhouse, or talking about what happens in the schoolhouse. Both my parents were educators. My maternal grandparents were educators. And for the past 40 years, I've done the same thing. And so needless to say, over those years, I've had a chance to look at education reform from a lot of perspectives. Some of those reforms have been good, some of them have been not so good. And we know why kids drop out. We know why kids don't learn. It's either poverty, low attendance, negative peer influences. We know why. But one of the things that we never discuss, or we rarely discuss, is the value and importance of human connection. Relationships. James Comer says that no significant learning can occur without a significant relationship. George Washington Carver says all learning is understanding relationships. Everyone in this room has been affected by a teacher or an adult. For years, I have watched people teach. I have looked at the best, and I've looked at some of the worst. A colleague said to me one time, they don't pay me to like the kids. They pay me to teach a lesson. The kids should learn it. I should teach it. They should learn it. Case closed. Well, I said to her, you know, kids don't learn from people they don't like. She said, that's just a bunch of hooey. And I said to her, well, your year is going to be long and arduous, dear. Needless to say, it was. Some people think that you can either have it in you to build a relationship or you don't. I think Stephen Covey had the right idea. He said you ought to just throw in a few simple things, like seeking first to understand as opposed to being understood. Simple things like apologizing. You ever thought about that? Tell a kid you're sorry, they're in shock. I taught a lesson once on ratios. I'm not real good with math, but I was working on it. And I got back and looked at that teacher edition. I taught the whole lesson wrong. So I came back to class the next day and I said, look, guys, I need to apologize. I taught the whole lesson wrong. I'm so sorry. They said, that's okay, Miss Pearson. You were so excited. We just let you go. I have had classes that were so low, so academically deficient that I cried. I wondered, how am I going to take this group in 9 months from where they are to where they need to be? And it was difficult. It was awfully hard. How do I raise the self-esteem of a child and his academic achievement at the same time? One year I came up with a bright idea. I told all my students, you were chosen to be in my class because I am the best teacher and you are the best students. They put us all together so we could show everybody else how to do it. One of the students said, really? I said, really? We have to show the other classes how to do it. So when we walk down the hall, people will notice us. So you can't make noise. You just have to strut. And I gave him a saying to say, I am somebody. I was somebody when I came. I'll be a better somebody when I leave. I am powerful and I am strong. I deserve the education that I get here. I have things to do, people to impress, and places to go. And they said, yeah. You say it long enough, it starts to be a part of you. And so, I gave a quiz, 20 questions. Student missed 18. I put a +2 on this paper and a big smiley face. He said, Miss Pearson, is this an F? I said, yes. He said, then why'd you put a smiley face? I said, because you on the roll. You got 2 right, you didn't miss them all. I said, and when we review this, won't you do better? He said, yes, ma'am, I can do better. You see, -18 sucks all the life out of you. +2 said, I ain't all bad. For years, I watched my mother take the time at recess to review, go on home visits in the afternoon, buy combs and brushes and peanut butter and crackers to put in her desk drawer for kids that needed to eat, and a washcloth and some soap for the kids who didn't smell so good. See, it's hard to teach kids who stink. And kids can be cruel. And so she kept those things in her desk, and years later, after she retired, I watched some of those same kids come through and say to her, you know, Miss Walker, you made a difference in my life. You made it work for me. You made me feel like I was somebody when I knew at the bottom I wasn't. And I want you to just see what I've become. And when my mama died 2 years ago at 92, there were so many former students at her funeral. It brought tears to my eyes, not because she was gone, but because she left a legacy of relationships that could never disappear. Can we stand to have more relationships? Absolutely. Will you like all your children? Of course not. And you know your toughest kids are never absent. Never. You won't like them all, and the tough ones show up for a reason. It's the connection, it's the relationships. And while you won't like them all, the key is they can never, ever know it. So teachers become great actors and great actresses, and we come to work when we don't feel like it, and we listen to policy that doesn't make sense, and we teach anyway. We teach anyway because that's what we do. Teaching and learning should bring joy. How powerful would our world be if we had kids who were not afraid to take risks, who were not afraid to think, and who had a champion? Every child deserves a champion, an adult who will never give up on them, who understands the power of connection and insists that they become the best that they can possibly be. Is this job tough? You betcha. Oh God, you betcha. But it is not impossible. We can do this. We're educators. We're born to make a difference. Thank you so much.
So, okay, as we were reading through your ITPs, it reminded me of, you know, educators and teachers and how selfless they are and how hardworking they are. So all of you as educators, I think, making a big difference. So I think what she said, so those of you who are working on the topic relationship building, it's a bonus for you, but she actually has a lot of elements that are related to active learning and engagement, teaching social emotional skills, apologizing, right? That's an element. And also it's related to resilience and grit, failing, but you know, those two, -18 sucks, but +2 can still help you, right? So there is actually a lot of elements. So we are going to have a quick group discussion, hopefully to help you brainstorm and prepare for your presentations. Okay, so now this is the question for group discussion. You know, are there any elements in her talk that are connected to the ITP that you are currently working on? So I'm going to share a screen so that it's easy for us to look at each other and then have a conversation. So maybe those of you who are comfortable can turn on your video so that we all can see you as well. So who would like to go first?
Hello.
Go ahead, Martina.
Yeah. So I really found the talk very nice and inspiring. But to be honest, for us at least, we really centered our project on group work on the students. Maybe we didn't give so much importance to the teachers, you know. So the idea of relationship building, for me, of course, it's central. And I really liked when she said, kids don't learn from people they don't like. And that's very important because that's how it works, you know. First thing, you need to develop a relationship and then you can do whatever you want, you know, with the class. But that's the first step. So I'm not sure that this idea can apply to our project-based learning because we really put the students at the center and the teachers were just facilitators. So I don't see that happening here, even though I recognize the importance of the talk. Okay.
Thank you, Martina. That's a very interesting reflection. I think like some of the elements is I think one of the most unique approach in this collaboration is that you come from diverse culture, right? You are coming from diverse culture, working together in a team where you can reflect on diverse issues, and you find that things are different in different places. And what can you take away from those differences? I think that's one of the key learning for you as the educator as you work in this phase, right? So hopefully that was a reflective moment for you. Anyone else would like to share anything related to, if you saw any elements that are related to what you are currently working on?
I would like to,
Go
if
ahead,
I may.
Lucia. Yes, of course.
So my topic is resilience and grit, and Miss Pearson said very good thing what you mentioned, -18 and +2, which helps you if you give a positive feedback, it might help you much better. And it also with she says with the speech, if you are good, so go. Yeah, this reminds me a bit of film of Sister Act 2, when the teacher says the same, if you want to be somebody, then wake up and pay attention. So this, I think I will put this into our game just to motivate our students to feel better and feel motivated.
Thank you, Lucia. And as you said, actually, the resilience and grit, right? She make it sound so easy. She's been teaching for so long, but actually, as teachers, you would know it's not. It can be really frustrating sometimes, right? Dealing with a group of students and different personality, different requirement. So I think it takes a lot of patience to be a teacher. So anyone else would like to share any insight?
Jyoti,
Yes.
may I?
Of course.
Somewhere I feel, Jyoti, we are all victims of our education system. How I was taught, somewhere it's, ingrained. So as you rightly said, we have to, it requires an effort to learn from others, and we cannot have a rigid boundary that, okay, I am a science teacher, this is my way. I think a science teacher need to, some practices of the language teachers are required. To build that connect with the student, you need to be a good artist, a drama, and to connect with them, something of their age. You have to work on it every day. I cannot decide that today what I have learned I can go on smoothly with another 6 months. So I feel this platform is a very good opportunity for all of us to see what we can add, element which has worked for others and which has not worked, so how I can edit and do it. So I look at this way.
Thank you, Nita. Actually, you said something very important. We are all victim from our own system, right? I think some of us can really relate if you had the opportunity to take or drop a class. I dropped classes because I didn't like my teacher, you know, not in school, in university. So I think that and the system that we most of us are coming from or working in, especially in the developing part, if I may say so, because I come from Bangladesh, I think the system really needs to be a lot better to support teachers, to kind of hear teachers' voices. So that's something we are trying to do to support teachers within the capacity that we have, communicating the work that you were doing, the voices that you were expressing through your ITPs, through other form of collaborations, to kind of convey what kind of messages that are emerging, right? So please continue the work, and maybe one or two more. If not, then we move on to the next phase. So anyone else?
Yeah,
Ian, go ahead.
I wanted to say something that maybe you know that in Hungary we have a big education crisis, and we have protest marches and silent protest against quality we reached in our education system, and of course salary. And just the connection to see is a relationship. So how students support teachers. So they fight for this hand in hand, and it's not in the classroom, it's out of school, in the streets, especially in Budapest, in the center. And it's great feeling to see how much students support the teachers in this fight. Yeah, I just wanted to add this.
Thank you, Adrienne. Thank you so much. I think it's it's meaningful to hear students supporting teachers, right? Because I think that means a lot for teachers. So we are really glad to hear that you have that support, and thank you for sharing the experience. So if none of you have anything else to add, maybe we move on to the next slide. So as I try to share my screen, so just to quickly sum up the video, I think a lot of elements are really related to holistic environment, making teaching and learning holistic through various means, relationship building, or through focusing on supporting students when they are failing. Okay, so the overall feedback, I think one thing, some of you, only some of you have really clear objectives. And if I may quickly say so, I think it was team creative practitioners, their objective was really spot on. So I think having clear and achievable objectives, either at the classroom level or school level. So actually something that didn't come across clearly was, are you doing it on a school level or in your classroom level? Some of them was clear because we can see that you were doing a classroom activity, for example, for active learning and engagement. So I think understanding whether your innovative teaching practice is addressing something to change or create an impact at the school or classroom level, that will be really helpful for you to take the step a bit further, starting from that. And also in the end, when you present or when you submit the detailed ITP, it will help you to focus on your impact better in a strong way. Remember, you did the exercises, the identity envelope and impact activity. We kind of want to see how does whatever you are building align with your values. I think because each of you have individual stories, individual values, I think integrating that in some way, in a collective way, will make the ITP innovative. So that's maybe something you can consider. And of course, it's actually the next three similar to the other collaboration we have. Some of you who are also participating in that one. For this collaboration, some of you really brought together the diversity and intercultural elements, but I think this is an area that we would be really appreciative of if you could focus more, because our work in nature is intercultural, and that's something we try to promote and advocate for as well. So that's an element that we also want to see in your ITP and how it make your ITP unique. And of course, we want to know some of you, thank you so much. You have a timeline that really helped us in terms of future steps, but timeline, yes, but in terms of actual execution and implementation, it didn't come across very clearly. I think we also understand that it was a summary, so maybe that's why you didn't focus on it, so that's fine. But make sure you know your future steps clearly, because we are going to follow up and then collect all the information for the detailed ITP or even later. And then in the end, the last thing is we really need you to and request you to focus on the key impact, because all this hard work is mainly to derive some impact from your activity, right? And we ourselves want to create an activity at a regional, by regional level, both in Asia and Europe, hopefully at the system level through communicating your voices. So please make sure that as you conclude your ITP and your submission or in your presentation, focus on the key impact. You might be creating 10 impacts, but we just need to know the key impact, because that's what is powerful, you know? So that's it. And I invite Adam. Adam is here. So one of your facilitators, Chorpang, he couldn't be here because he had some other engagement, but he recorded a video. We will upload the video on the learning platform so you can watch it later. Maybe Adam, you could quickly give some of your feedback, impressions, and advice that you have for the participants.
Yeah, I managed to unmute my microphone. Thank you, Jyoti. I will try to look at some different dimensions of the ITPs that you have developed. Of course, Jyoti has already mentioned that having clear objectives is essential. Our next step is to derive individual tasks from the objectives we have set. So these are some fundamental things. And finally, we evaluate our ITP to check its efficacy. So that's important as well. When we design innovative practices, there are several factors, I think, that shape our work. The first one is our engagement. So we want to introduce some changes for the better. Of course, it takes courage from us because we aren't sure that our actions will lead to success, but we all know that that's the only way of development. Next, while designing the course of our project, we take advantage of our creativity and try to elaborate on tasks which are, on one hand, will contribute to the achievement of goals, and on the other hand, they will trigger motivation and commitment in our students. One of the clues that I'd like to suggest is engaging emotions. We can achieve this by, for example, using gamification, and you have already proposed that. Different quizzes, competitions. Another way is using methods of work that appeal to our students. Working on a task, some of them will be happy, for instance, to present their videos. Other ones will be happy to present their ideas verbally. Or some of them may want to create a drawing or a photo collage. So I proposed this solution to one of the teams in my feedback, but it may be probably used in some other tasks you designed in the other teams as well in your ITPs. I'm sure also that giving our students some autonomy in their work will pay off. As for the ITPs I evaluated, I must admit that they were really creative. For example, the team of creative practitioners proposed an ITP on charity tasks. They talked about that just a while ago. They are going to use the wheel of emotions. They will also consider motivational factors which make people take part in charity marathons. To carry out their activities, they want to use Phillips 6 method. That's a really nice method to be used also in other tasks, I guess. They will write their ideas in the future me letter to myself. I simply laughed at that idea. That's a great idea, and it was something new. I have learned about that thanks to that proposal. And finally, they will recreate the Wheel of Emotions poster. all these ideas are innovative and guarantee students' involvement. On the other hand, the mindfulness team want to conduct a 2-month international project and create videos. Such activities always mean a lot. They mean a lot. They give a lot of fun for participants. On the other hand, the team of divergent thinkers, they are planning to build good relationships in their school environment. Another team wants to concentrate on the topic of gratitude and thankfulness. We have heard about that. They used the strategy which suggests starting with things which are close to us and later expand them and continue with some hands-on activities. I proposed to this group that apart from presenting ideas verbally, they can also note them down on stickers and create, for example, a collection on the wall. So that will be another way of presenting students' ideas. Students who are not shy could make a short film or record their responses on Vocaroo. Probably you are familiar with this tool. Another option is using a brainstorming tool called Answer Garden. This method will identify the things which were repeated by many students. They will be bigger on the poster. And finishing my long speech, let me share with you my method of assessing a lesson plan. I try to metaphorically step back and answer to questions while I conduct such an assessment. Would such activities be interesting for me if I were a teenager? I try to answer such a question to myself. Would I have fun working on them? I also have 2 close friends at school who always give me honest feedback on the lesson plans I ask them to evaluate. So finishing, let me congratulate you on all your ITPs and thank you very much.
Thank you, Adam. Thank you. Very well said. I think what I really liked, apart from all the useful and very insightful feedback you have just shared, courage, right? That the emphasis on that word. I think all of you were working in this ITP on your own, voluntarily participating in this project. You want to change something, right? Change something in the way you teach, make the environment better. I think that that engagement and that courage element is really, really powerful in terms of things changing and better things happening. So thank you, Adam, for that. I think one more element I wanted to highlight that I forgot earlier is because compared to the other collaboration where it's more focused on learning outcome for different subjects because it's climate change education, for this one, it's rather the environment. So sometimes it might be a bit difficult for you to track a specific learning outcome for a class. Maybe only for active learning and engagement it's possible. So as you are working on the ITP, we really would like to, we request you to focus primarily on the environment. So what's changing in your environment in terms of making your teaching and learning practices and aspects better. So I think that's an element you can focus on. Would you like to say something to that, Adam? I'm not sure if you have also thought about it in terms of the topic and the.
Yeah, sorry, I did write something on the chapter because Adam mentioned a brainstorming tool and I couldn't get the name of this thing that is.
Oh yes, Adam, could you type in the chat box maybe?
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, in a moment.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. So, okay, let's move on as Adam is typing. Let's quickly, okay, question and answer. Now, I stopped sharing my screen. Before I stop sharing, let me quickly, so we have the next session, closing a new presentation. We're really excited to hear more about your ITPs. So Tuesday, 15th of December and Singapore time 4 to 6 p.m. and European time 9 to 10 a.m. And let's go back to question and answer session. So anyone have any last minute questions for Adam or for Chorpang? We can convey to him through email later. or for Angie or me, anything really. So please, this is your chance. No questions? No comments? I think.
Yeah, can I just quickly ask a question? May I ask if there's a template for us to follow, or it's okay if we just stick to our original ones?
Thank you, Shimin. I totally forgot about the templates. Yes. So we are working on a template. We already finalized a template for your PowerPoint presentation. We are going to send the PowerPoint presentation template to you individually, because what we are trying to do is, considering the time, we are going to give you the individual feedback and also send you a Google link to your slide so that you can already put information there. So a specific instruction on how to work with the slide, we will share it in email, but to summarize it, you can be as creative as you want, but you only have 3 to 5 minutes. So whatever you can present within 3 to 5 minutes, the key information, perhaps it's better to only focus on those elements. So look out for an email. We will try to send it as soon as possible. And then you can take it from there. Regarding the ITP template for the final submission, we are also going to send it very soon, hopefully either by tomorrow or by Monday, because I think we want to send out the PowerPoint template first, since you have the presentation very soon. So please look out for an email with that PPT link. Any more questions? Anything practical, if not related to your topic?
Yes, please. May I?
Yes, yes, of course.
3 to 5 minutes, is that for the whole group or for each one of us?
No, for the whole group, because we have 2 hours for the whole session closing. So we will have our executive director giving a closing remark for all of you. And then we will have concluding notes as well, and what's next. So that will take a few minutes, and for each of you, within 3 to 5 minutes, actually you can speak a lot. All we need to know is a very quick summary of your ITP, so that we all can understand what's going on, what this ITP is about, learning outcome or the impact that are deriving from the ITP, your action plan, and what's next. That's it. That's all we need to know, because we are going to read your detailed ITP in December 22nd, because that's your deadline, right? At this stage, we realize that you still need some more time to build the ideas better, build the detailed information better, so that you are continuing working on even after the closing, because your action learning phase ends on 22nd December. So 13th is basically for us to close the school collaboration officially, formally. However, it doesn't conclude until 22nd December. So please keep that in mind. It's just for us to complete the formality. And a presentation, why? Because you right now had an exercise working on a summary. So it helped you kind of get started with the conversation, get started with ideation. So when you prepare the PPT, you are going to look into a few more layers in terms of impact, in terms of learning outcome, in terms of the action plan. So those will hopefully give you a little bit more time and preparation for the detailed ITP. So if, let's say at this stage by next week, if there are some elements that you are still not sure about, that's fine. You just need to tell us that, okay, right now we are at this phase. This is what happened so far. This is so and so, and we are currently working on this, like what Uni shared today, right? So that's about it. Do you have any more questions?
Yes, excuse me.
Yes.
When is our next meeting then?
So the next meeting on 15th of December. So that's a closing remark. So it's an official closing, and then you have the presentation. So for the presentation, the detailed information, we're going to send an individual email with the feedback, with the PPT template.
Yeah, sorry, the 15th is that, what date is that? Is that Wednesday?
I cannot hear you, Martina. Could you repeat?
Excuse me, is that a Wednesday, the 15th?
Let me quickly check. December, it's Thursday.
Okay, good, good, because of course we are teaching and I arranged it to be free on Thursdays and by chance I'm also free on Fridays, but okay, so it's next Thursday then.
Thursday, yes, yes.
Okay, okay.
Okay, thank you, Martina. So great job, everyone. And we are really privileged and honored to work with you and get to know your work, and all the best for the next phase, and have a very lovely weekend. You deserve it.